हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your kind association. Let's get started with our study of Granthraj, Srimad Bhagavatam. Let us begin with our Mangalacharan prayers, the auspicious invocation prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. तथैव चान्ये नरलोकवीराय आहवे कृष्णमुखारविन्दं नेत्रैः पिबन्तो नयनाभिरामं पार्थास्त्रपूत पदमापुरस्य अहो बकीयं स्तनकालकूटं जिघ्रांसयापाय यदप्यसाध्वी लेभे गतिं धात्र्युचितां ततोऽन्यं कं वा दयालुं शरणं व्रजेम. अशेष संक्लेश शमं विधत्ते गुणानुवाद श्रवणं मुरारे किं वा पुनस्तच्चरणारविन्द पराग सेवारतिरात्मलब्धा सोऽहं नृणां क्षुल्य सुखाय दुःखं महद्गतानां विरमाय तस्य प्रवर्तये भागवतं पुराणम् यदाह साक्षात् भगवान् ऋषिभ्यः. त्वं भक्ति योग परिभावितहृत्सरोज आस्ये श्रुतेक्षितपथो ननु नाथ पुंसाम् यद्यद्धियात उरुगाय विभावयन्ति तत्तद्वपु प्रणयसे सदनुग्रहाय सोऽसावदभ्रकरुणो भगवान् विवृद्ध प्रेम स्मितेन नयनाम्बुरुहं वृजिम्भम् उत्थाय विश्वविजयाय च नो विषादम् माद्व्यागिरापनयतात् पुरुषः पुराणः ससर्जाग्रन्थतामिस्रम् अथ तामिस्रमादिकृत् महामोहं च मोहं च तमश्चाज्ञानवृत्तयः. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We are continuing our study of Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 7, entitled Further Enquiries by Mahatma Vidur. Text 1. Shri Shuka Uvacha Evam bruvana maitreyam dvaipayana suto buddha prinayan iva bharatya vidurah pratyabhashata. Translations and purports by our beloved founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, Srila Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Shri Shukdev Goswami said, O King Parikshit, while Maitreya Muni, the great sage, was thus speaking, Mahatma Vidur, the learned son of Sri Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasadev, expressed a request in a pleasing manner by asking this question. So we saw how Shripad Maitreya Muni answered so many questions about the universal form in the previous chapter. Now in chapter 7, Shri Vidurji is ready to ask more questions. Text 2. Vidura uvacha Brahman katham bhagavatas chinmatrasya vikarinaha लीलया चापि युज्येरं निर्गुणस्य गुणक्रियाः. Translation. Shri Vidur said, O great Brahman Maitreya, since the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the complete spiritual whole and is unchangeable, how is he connected with the material modes of nature and their activities? If Krishna is completely spiritual, how he can be connected with modes of material nature and their activities? How is it possible that Krishna is completely spiritual, is gunatit, then how he can be connected to the modes of material nature and their activities? If this is his pastime, Leelaya cha api, if this is his pastime, how do the activities of the unchangeable Krishna take place and exhibit qualities without the modes of nature? Nirgunasya gunah kriya. How does he exhibit qualities without the modes of material nature? So, all the activities are ultimately carried out by Prakriti. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha. Through the modes of material nature, all the activities are carried out. Then how we can say that Krishna's activities are untouched by these material modes? That's what he wants to understand. How Krishna karma, how Krishna activities are nirgun. Because all activities are conducted under mode of material nature. Either the activity will be mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. How we can say that Krishna's activities are untouched by material qualities? That is the question of Mahatma Vidur. Purport. Srila Prabhupada writes, as described in the previous chapter, the difference between the super soul, who is the Supreme Lord, and the living entities is that the activities of the Supreme Lord, Krishna, in creating the cosmic manifestation are performed by the Lord through the agency of his multifarious energy. For example, creation will take place through mode of passion. But this manifestation is bewildering to the living entities. Lord Krishna is therefore the master of the energies, whereas the living entities are subjugated by these energies. So Krishna is Shaktiman. He controls all the Shaktis, whereas the Jiva is controlled by Krishna's Shakti. Jiva is also Shakti, Tatastha Shakti, but the Tatastha Shakti is under the Bahiranga Shakti right now. He too is subjected By asking various questions about transcendental activities, Nirgun Kriya, Vidur is clearing the misconception that when the Lord either descends on the earth in his incarnation or appears himself with all his potencies, Swayam Bhagwan, he too is subjected to the influence of Maya, just like an ordinary living entity. So, for people to say that because Lord Ram killed Vali, hidden behind a tree, then as you sow, so shall you reap. When he came as Krishna, he was also shot. Have you heard this? Hmm. So this is exactly what Srila Prabhupada is explaining. That this type of arguments are put forth by people who think that Krishna is also under the law of karma. But all these laws, they are made by Krishna. Krishna is not under them. Next page, in the next paragraph, Srila Prabhupada writes, the Lord is Saguna by his own internal potency. So Krishna has his own gunas, his divine 64 qualities. That is also guna, na? But that is internal potency. And at the same time, he is nirguna, since he is not in touch with the material energy. When in the material world we see with our material eyes, then Krishna is nirgun, because we see everything with material qualities, but Krishna does not have material qualities, so he's called nirgun. But then he has the spiritual gun, 64 qualities of Krishna, which is in the spiritual realm. The restrictions of the prison house are applicable to prisoners who have been imprisoned. They have to follow the rules. But the king is not affected by these rules. He may visit the prison house out of his own goodwill, and the rules will not apply to him because he is the creator of those rules. Text 3. Kridayamudyamorvasya kamaschikredisan yatah swatastriptasya cha katham nivrittasya sadanyatah. Boys are enthusiastic to play. Kridayam udyama arvasya. The kids, they're enthusiastic to play with other kids or with various diversions because they are encouraged by desire. Nowadays, even small newborn babies also, we see they have that pacifier. They just keep sucking on that pacifier. It's a diversion. It's called pacifier. It means a child is saying something, crying or something, and you pacify. Divert him with the toy, with the pacifier. But there is no possibility of such a desire for the Lord, which means a child is getting bored. So to entertain the child, we show some diversion. So did Krishna create this world because Krishna also was getting bored and he wanted some diversion? No, it's not like that. So Prabhupada is explaining, or rather, Srimad Bhagavatam is explaining, Vidurji is explaining, but there is no possibility of such desire for the Lord because he is self-satisfied and detached from everything at all times. Krishna doesn't want a toy. Krishna doesn't want any diversion. Krishna doesn't want a pacifier. Krishna doesn't want uh, anything external. He's completely Atmaram. He's self-satisfied. So Maitreya Muni is saying, so Maitreya Muni is being asked by Vidurji that why Krishna is performing all these activities. Are they really nirgun? Are they really not within the laws of karma? Purport. Since the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is one without a second, there is no possibility of anything besides him can exist. He expands himself by his energies in multi forms of self-expansions and separate expansions. Swamsha Vibhinnamsha. Just as fire expands itself by heat and light. Just like fire expands itself through heat and light, Krishna expands himself through his Swa-amsha, direct expansions, the Vishnu Murtis, and, which are the jivas, the separated entities. just like fire spreads light and heat. Since there is no other existence besides Lord Krishna himself, the Lord's association with anything manifests his association with himself. Since ultimately everything is coming from Krishna, when Krishna associates with something or someone, in one sense, Krishna is associating with himself because everything is coming from Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita 9.4, Lord Krishna says, Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina matsthani sarva bhutani nachaham tesh avastitah. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina. The complete manifestation of the cosmic situation is an expansion of Lord Krishna himself in his avyakta murtina, impersonal feature. All things are situated within him. Matsthani sarva bhutani. Yet Krishna is not in them. Na cha aham tesh avastitah. Everything is situated in me, but I am not situated there. That is the opulence of Krishna's attachment, Masthani Sarvabhutani, and Krishna's detachment. Na chaham tesh avastitah. He is attached to everything. Masthani Sarvabhutani. Yet he is detached from all. Na chaham tesh avastitah. This is Krishna's opulence. He is attached to everything and he is detached to everything. Text 4. Asrakshid Bhagavan Vishwam Gunamayyatma Mayaya Taya Samsthapayat Etad Bhuya Pratya Pidhasati. By his self-sheltered potency of the three modes of material nature, Lord Krishna has caused the creation of this universe. Three modes of material nature also is Krishna's separated energy, and through this Krishna creates the universe. This is called Maya Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti. By her he maintains the creation and conversely dissolves it again and again. Bhutva Bhutva Praliyate. In the purport at the end, Srila Prabhupada says, this material world is not for the purpose of Lord Krishna himself, but is for the conditioned souls who wanted to be controllers due to misuse of their God-gifted minute independence. Thus, the conditioned souls are subjected to repeated birth and death. Prabhupada again explains why this world is created. This world is not created for Krishna, but this world, material world, is created for the conditioned souls who want to become lords. Text 5. Deshata kalato yosav avasthat swatonyatah aviluptavabodhatma sayujyeta jaya katham. The pure soul is pure consciousness and is never out of consciousness, either due to circumstances, time, situations, dreams, or other causes. How then does the pure soul become engaged in nescience? So here, in the previous verse, verse number 4, Vidurji said that through the three modes of material nature, Krishna creates, maintains, and destroys again and again. Passion creates, goodness maintains, ignorance destroys. Again and again, everything is created, maintained, and destroyed. But the pure soul is pure consciousness. The Jivatma has nothing to do with this material creation. And the Jiva always has consciousness. The quality of the soul is that it has consciousness. How then the pure soul, which is complete spirit, becomes entangled in this dirty material nature? How does my soul get entangled in this material body? Because of false ego. I think I am this body. How did this nescience, this ignorance come upon the pure jiva, which is part of Krishna originally? Mama amsha jiva loka jiva bhuta sanatana. How can a soul that is pure consciousness come under the influence of nescience and start thinking that I am this body? That is a question that Vidur is asking Maitre Muni. Purport. The consciousness of the jiva, the living being, is always present. This we have to understand. The jiva is always conscious. Consciousness is a symptom of the presence of the soul. When a living man moves from one place to another, he is conscious that he has changed his position. So I may come from the kitchen into this room to speak to all of you. I remember that before I came here, I was in the kitchen. He never forgets his personal identity, even though he's placed in so many circumstances, sometimes comfortable, sometimes awkward circumstances. How then can the jiva, the living entity, become forgetful of his real identity as pure spirit soul and identify with matter? Vidurji is asking, how is it possible that the pure soul starts identifying with matter and forgets that I am a soul, spirit soul? How is it possible? The conclusion is that the living entity, the jiva, is influenced by the avidya potency of Krishna. Krishna has a Shakti called avidya Shakti, avidya potency. And the only explanation that can be given how the soul, which is pure spirit, be covered in utter ignorance, completely forget that I am a part of Krishna and think I am this lowly body and get completely enamored by material nature, develop material desires. How is that possible? And Prabhupada says the conclusion is that the living entity is influenced by the avidya potency, avidya shakti of Krishna. And this is mentioned in Vishnu Puran and Srimad Bhagavatam. Further down, one potency may be overcome by another potency. This is important. Please try to understand. We, the jivas, are tatastha shakti. Tatastha shakti can get overcome by the bahiranga shakti, even though it is apara prakriti and we are para prakriti. Why? Simply because we are very small. The Tatastha Shakti consists of all the innumerable jivas. And Bahiranga Shakti is one big powerful Shakti. Bahiranga Shakti, Maya Shakti, Achit Shakti. So it's one infinitesimal jiva, even though spiritual, against the whole Maya. We are Chid, Anu, Karn, as Javadharma said. And Krishna is Brihad, Chid Brihad Shakti, Shaktiman. And we are Chid Anu, Karn. We are a small particle. We are also Chid, we are also spiritual, but we are Anu. Krishna is Brihad. So because we are so small, the whole Bahiranga Shakti, if we turn towards her, can overwhelm us. Therefore, we have to take shelter of Krishna. One potency may overcome another potency, but to the potent, all the potencies are under control. So one Shakti may be overcome by another Shakti. The Tatastha Shakti individually may be overcome by the Bahiranga Shakti, yes. But the Shaktiman, Krishna, Radha Purna Shakti, Krishna Purna Shaktiman. Dui vastu bhedana hi shastra paramand. But the um, Tatastha Shakti can be overcome by the Bahiranga Shakti if the Tatastha Shakti is influenced by the Avidya potency, which is the potency of the Bahiranga Shakti. The living entity cannot be forgetful of his real identity unless influenced by the Avidya potency. But Krishna is the potent. Krishna Purna Shakti Man. He is never under the potency. He is the controller of the potencies. He is the supremely potent person. Because the living entity is prone to the influence of avidya, the living entity can never equal the Supreme Lord who is Shaktiman. who is the potent. Text 6. Bhagavaneka evaisha sarva kshetresh avasthitah amushya durbhagatvam va klesho va karma bhikutah. The Lord as the super soul is situated in every living being's heart. Why then do the living entities' activities result in misfortune and misery? This is another question that Mahatma Vidur is asking Sri Maitreya Muni. He's saying the jiva is always accompanied by the Paramatma. Jiva is always accompanied by Jagdish. The Atma is with the Paramatma. How then can misfortune and misery come upon the jiva when the Paramatma is right there with the jiva? Good question. So Vidur is asking very nice question. Purport. The next question put forward by Vidur to Maitreya is, why are the living entities subjected to so many miseries and misfortunes in spite of Paramatma's presence? The body is considered a tree with fruits, and the living entity and the super soul, Krishna, are like two birds seated in that tree. The Jivatma, the individual soul, is eating the fruits of the tree, but the super soul, Paramatma, is simply witnessing the activities of the other bird. This is the difference. But the question is the difference between Paramatma and Atma. But the question is why the Jiva suffers when Paramatma is with the Jiva. Text 7. Etasmin me mano vidvan khidyate jnana sankate tannah paranud paranuda vibho kashmalam manasam mahat. O great and learned one, my mind is greatly illusioned by the distress of this nescience, and I therefore request you to clear it up. So, all these questions, Vidur is asking Maitreya Muni and saying, please clarify. How can the fully conscious jiva become covered over by nescience? Completely forget that I am a spirit soul and start thinking that I am this material body. How is it possible? And how can the soul suffer when the super soul is with the soul? Text 8. Shri Shuka Uvacha Sa Itham Chodita Chatra Tattva Jitnyasuna Munihi Pratyaha Bhagavat Chittaha Smayan Iva Gatasmayaha. Shri Shukadev Goswami said, O King Parikshit, Shri Maitreya Muni, being thus agitated by the inquisitive Vidur, at first seemed astonished. Astonished. But then he replied to him without hesitation, since he was fully God conscious. This is very important. When a question is asked, the question may be simple, question may be something that we have answered many times, the question may be surprising. But to the degree we are Krishna conscious, to the degree we are surrendered to Krishna, to the degree Krishna is doing Tesham Evanukampartham Aham Ajnanajam Tamanashyami Atma Bhavastu Jnanadipena Bhaswata. As long as Krishna is giving enlightenment, there is no question of avidya. So difficult questions were asked by Vidur to Maitreya Muni. Maitreya Muni seemed little at first astonished, but then he, without hesitation, he started replying since he was fully God conscious. That is the importance. Fully God conscious. Bhagavad Chitta. He was Krishna conscious. That's why he was able to answer. Purport. Since the great sage Maitreya was filled with God consciousness, he had no reason to be astonished at such contradictory questions by Vidur. Ye kyun, aisa kyun? So many questions Vidur asked. Krishna was not bewildered at all. Anyone who is a devotee of Lord Krishna knows about the Lord to some extent, and devotional service to the Lord makes him able to know everything by the grace of the Lord. Ye bhaje Krishna say bada chatur. One who worships Krishna becomes very intelligent. Yomameva masamudo janati purushottama sa sarvavid bhayati mam sarva bhavena bharata. One who becomes a devotee of Krishna knows everything. Sa sarvavid. Text 9. मैत्रे उवाच सेयं भगवतो मायायन्मयेन विरुध्यते ईश्वरस्य विमुक्तस्य कार्पण्यम उत बंधनम. Shri Maitreya Muni said, certain conditioned souls put forward the theory that the Supreme Brahman or the personality of Godhead is overcome by illusion or Maya, and at the same time they maintain that he is unconditioned. This is all against logic. Maitreya Muni is saying. Some people say that the theory is the philosophy is that the Supreme Brahman, Supreme Personality of Godhead, is overcome by illusion or Maya. That Krishna is overcome by illusion. Krishna is also overcome by Avidya Shakti. Krishna is overcome by Maya Shakti, they say. And Sri Maitreya Muni is saying that this is a wrong philosophy. Purport. Sometimes it appears that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is 100% spiritual, cannot be the cause of the illusory potency which covers the knowledge of the living soul, the individual soul. Krishna cannot be so cruel that he created this Bahiranga Shakti where so many crimes are there. But factually, there is no doubt that the illusory external energy is also part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. When Srila Vyasadeva realized the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, he saw the Lord along with his external potency, which covers the pure knowledge of the individual living entities. That is the purpose. Further down, Srila Jiva Goswami and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, however, offer a very nice example in explanation. They say that although the sun is all light, the clouds, darkness, and snowfall are all part and parcel of the sun. Without the sun, there is no possibility of the sky being overcast with clouds or darkness, nor can there be snowfall on the earth. Although life is sustained by the sun, life is also disturbed by darkness and snowfall produced by the sun. The rainfall, how? Water evaporates by the sun from the ocean and becomes a rain cloud. Therefore, in summer, we have so many storms. Without the sun, there is no possibility of the sky being overcast. But it is also a fact that the sun itself is never overcome by darkness, clouds, snowfall. There will be darkness, there will be clouds on earth, but as we very well know, all these things are not there. Um, sorry, I don't know what I spoke. So there may be darkness, clouds, rain, snow on the earth, and these are all produced through evaporation by the sun. Even the pressure gradient differences in the wind, some places are hot, some places are cold. All this is created by the sun. But the sun itself is not affected by the clouds, by the rain, by the snowfall. All that is happening on this tiny earth planet. Sun has nothing to do with it. Although sun is causing all that, it is not affecting the sun. This example they are using to teach us how Krishna is not affected in this world. Only those who have a poor fund of knowledge say that sun is covered by a cloud. Similarly, the Supreme Brahman or Param Brahman, the personality of God, is always unaffected by the influence of the material energy, although it is one of his energies. Parashakti Vivideva Shuryate. Just like sun is not affected by the dark clouds it creates in the ocean, similarly, Krishna is not affected by any material things that he participates in this world. Hmm? So Krishna is unaffected by the influence of material energy. Verse number 10. Yadarthena vinamushya pumsa atma viparyayah pratiyata upadrashtuhu swashirashchedanadhikah. The living entity is in distress regarding his self-identity. He has no factual background, like a man who dreams that he sees his head has been cut off. Mhm. Living entity is in distress regarding the self-identity. He has no factual background, like a man who dreams that he has seen his head being cut off. Mhm. So this is very Very surprising that someone may think like this, yet we are all thinking like that I am this body, self-identification. In the last sentences of the paragraph, Krishna says, or Srila Prabhupada says, because he has rebelled against the service of the Lord, he is therefore put in the service of Maya. He is still serving, but in a perverted manner. When he wants to get out of service under material bondage, he next desires to become one with the Lord. This is another illusion. The best course, therefore, is to surrender to the Lord and thus get rid of the illusion Maya for good, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.14. Daivi yesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mame vaya prapadyante maya metam tarantite. So Krishna is saying there are three responses. Prabhupada is saying there are three responses to suffering in this world. Living in great distress in this world. But there is a way out. There are three responses. First response is that, oh, just enjoy in this world. There's so much suffering. We have this body, just enjoy. Just enjoy. Let's become fortunate and just enjoy. That is the first category. Second category of people is they just want liberation. They're tired of enjoying in this world. There is really no enjoyment. In the end, everything culminates in something very bitter. So I don't want. I want liberation. But the best response is the response of the devotee, where the devotee says, Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Mam evaya prapadyante mayametam tarantite. I'm just going to go and teach the students. Hare Krishna. No, the best response is that we surrender to Krishna. First response is you enjoy in the material world. Second response is that you want liberation. I'm just fed up with this material world. I don't want bhukti, I want mukti. But the best response is Mam evaya prapadyante mayametam tarantite. Best response is that I surrender to Krishna. I don't want bhukti, I don't want mukti, I surrender to Krishna. Prabhupada saying that is the best response. Because there is the verse number 10 says, the living entity is in distress over self-identification. We think I am this body, we are going to cry. Because this body is going to die, the relatives of this body is going to die. Sometimes I will have health, sometimes ill health, sometimes honor, sometimes dishonor, sometimes success, sometimes defeat. As long as I'm thinking I'm this body, I'm this person, this human being, I'm going to cry. I'm going to suffer. Best is to understand that I belong to Krishna. I don't belong to this world. I have really nothing to do with this world. I belong to Krishna, and Krishna is calling me to his abode. Janma karma chame divyam evam tattvadeyam punanati mameti 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 mameva shasi satyam te prati. Krishna is repeatedly calling. My Krishna is calling me. I have an eternal relationship with Krishna and I want to go to Krishna. I surrender to Krishna. Don't want bhukti, don't want mukti. I want Krishna. That is the best response. And then, so Maitreya Muni is answering. Now from verse number 11, we will continue a day after tomorrow. Tomorrow is Shri Narsimha Chaturdashi. Shri Narsimha Dev Bhagwan ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. Are there any questions? Yes, Divya Agrawal Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I had a question about the Sagun and Nirgun feature of Krishna. In Ramcharitamanas, there's a verse where Lord Shiva tells Parvati that the Supreme Lord who is Nirgun with love becomes Sagun. So, it's kind of...
Yeah. Now, see, these statements should not be misunderstood. Sagun means Krishna has Divya Gun. He has spiritual attributes, spiritual qualities. Like he's Bhakta Vatsal. He is very Kripalu, very Dayalu. He never comes under illusion. He never forgets everything that his devotees have done for him. He is controlled by bhakti. These are the qualities of Krishna. But these are divine qualities. So Krishna has Divya Gun. And Nirgun means he is devoid. He is devoid of material qualities. Hmm? He is devoid of material qualities. That's how we understand Nirgun. Nirgun means no material qualities. So, like that. That is the correct understanding. Okay. The Shanta Radhika Mataji, please go ahead.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Hare
यस
Krishna.
प्रभु जी, जैसे जीव ने तो केवल मतलब विलिंग की थी कि भाई हमें भी एंजॉय करना है, दैट इज व्हाई ही केम इनटू मटेरियल वर्ल्ड। तो लेकिन फिर भगवान ने अपनी जो उस शक्ति से जीव को, अभी आपने बोला ना पर्वत में कि उसको भुला दिया, कि उसको अपनी पर्सनल आइडेंटिटी याद नहीं रही। तो भगवान ने ऐसा क्यों किया? अगर उसको अपनी पहचान याद रहती तो वो वापस भगवान के पास आराम से जा सकता था ना प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्णा। भगवान ने क्या क्यों किया? आप सवाल एक बार फिर से पूछिए माता जी थोड़ा।
वो अभी प्रभु जी जैसे आपने बोला था ना कि हम मतलब भगवान की, एक मिनट प्रभु जी, जो हम मतलब अपनी आइडेंटिटी क्यों भूले यहाँ पे ना, कि भगवान ने अपनी मोहग्रस्त कर दिया था जीव को अपनी भौतिक उससे। तो वो ऐसा भगवान ने क्यों किया? मतलब जीव यहाँ पे आया इस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में बिकॉज ही डिजायर टू
एंजॉय,
सेटिस्फाई हिमसेल्फ, लाइक ही वांटेड पावर एंड एवरीथिंग।
हाँ,
तो इसलिए वो आ गया जीव में, बट ही वाज विद गॉड, गॉड वाज inside his heart, like but he forget the identity, his personal identity, because God wanted that कि अपनी जो बद्ध शक्ति के कारण वो अपनी उसको भूल गया आइडेंटिटी को। तो भगवान ने ऐसा क्यों किया?
अभी देखो, जैसे आपका बच्चा है, उसकी एग्जाम है कल, उसको पढ़ना चाहिए, लेकिन उसको T20 देखना है, क्रिकेट देखना है। तो आपसे पूछता है, मम्मी मैं 2020 देखूं क्या? आप कहते नहीं बेटा, 2020 मत देखो, कल एग्जाम है, उसके बाद में देख लेना, अभी एग्जाम है, अभी नहीं। मम्मी प्लीज, मम्मी मैं खाना नहीं खाऊंगा, आप मुझे 2020 देखने नहीं देंगे तो खाना नहीं खाऊंगा, देखने दो देखने दो देखने दो देखने दो देखने दो देखने दो। अच्छा ठीक है चल देख, आपने अनुमति दे दी। अब वो बैठ के देख रहा है क्रिकेट, तो क्या आप उसके सामने जा जाकर बताओगे एग्जाम, एग्जाम, कल एग्जाम, कल एग्जाम है, कल एग्जाम है, कल एग्जाम है? तो बेचारा देख नहीं पाएगा, है ना? ना वो पढ़ पाएगा, ना वो क्रिकेट एंजॉय कर पाएगा। अब उसको क्रिकेट एंजॉय करना है तो उसको देखने दो, चल देख दो, अभी 2 घंटा 3 घंटा जो भी है बैठ के देख ले, बाद में पढ़ लेना। सुन नहीं रहा है ना, मान नहीं रहा है, इसलिए। तो जैसे हमें इस भौतिक जगत में विलास करना है, हमें इस भौतिक जगत में इंद्रिय तृप्ति करनी है, तो इसलिए हम इस भौतिक जगत में आए हैं। अब यदि भगवान हमें विस्मरण नहीं कराएंगे हमारे स्वरूप का, तो हम भौतिक वस्तुओं में कैसे आसक्त होंगे, या इस भौतिक जगत का भोग कैसे कर पाएंगे? कर ही नहीं पाएंगे ना। वो तो ऐसे है कि मम्मी बार बार देख, प्लेकार्ड लेके खड़ी है, एग्जाम बेटा, एग्जाम है, एग्जाम है, एग्जाम है ना? तो ये इस भौतिक जगत में यदि आना है, इस भौतिक जगत में यदि प्रवेश करना है, तो हमें हमारा जो जीव का स्वरूप है, उसका विस्मरण होना अनिवार्य है। अन्यथा हम इस भौतिक जगत में आ ही नहीं पाएंगे। इस जगत में एंट्री लेने के लिए वो भूलना आवश्यक है, अन्यथा यहां पर कोई विलास करने की इच्छा ही नहीं होगी। आपको ठीक है, ठीक लग रहा है ये शांता राधिका माता जी?
यस प्रभु जी, बिल्कुल ठीक है। फिर इससे फर्दर एक क्वेश्चन होता है प्रभु जी, जैसे कि ये तो ठीक है, कॉमन हो गया, तो हम मतलब वो ये इंडिविजुअल टू इंडिविजुअल डिफर नहीं हो सकता? लाइक जो वापस जाना चाहते हैं तो स्टिल वी आर सफर्ड विद अविद्या जाल ओनली। हमें पता चल गया है, हम जाना चाहते हैं, फिर भी वी आर सफरिंग विद माया मटेरियल नेचर से। स्टिल हमें भी मतलब हम जाना भी चाहते हैं, लेकिन फिर भी हम मटेरियल चीजों में इन्वॉल्व रहते हैं। तो उस वक्त क्यों नहीं फिर गॉड कर हमारे?
नहीं, भगवान तो हमारी सहायता कर रहे हैं। अभी जब आपने ऐसा निश्चय कर लिया कि नहीं, हमें भगवत धाम जाना है, हमें कृष्ण की भक्ति करनी है, राधा रानी की भक्ति करनी है, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र का जाप करना है, दीक्षा ली है, तो अभी जो भी परेशानियां है, जो भी जीवन में प्रतिकूलता है, वो भगवान स्वयं दे रहे हैं हमें भक्ति में और निपुण बनाने के लिए, और एक्सपर्ट बनाने के लिए। जैसे सोने को अग्नि में डाला जाता है उसे और तेजस्वी बनाने के लिए, और उसको शुद्ध बनाने के लिए, ताकि सारा मल निकल जाए सोने से। उसी प्रकार से जब एक भक्त संसार दवानल में जलता है, संसार दवानल लीढ़ लोक, इस जगत में तापत्रय मिलता है, ताप मिलता है, तो भक्त और विशुद्ध हो जाता है, उसकी शरणागति बढ़ जाती है, उसकी भक्ति की तीव्रता बढ़ जाती है, भगवान को प्राप्त करने की उत्सुकता बढ़ जाती है। इसीलिए भगवान हमें इस भौतिक जगत में प्रतिकूलता देते हैं। अब भी, दीक्षा लेने के बाद भी, इतने बार भगवान से प्रार्थना करने के बाद भी कि हे भगवान, मुझे नहीं रहना इस जगत में, मुझे आपकी नित्य सेवा करनी है, वैकुंठ लोक में, कृष्ण लोक आना है, मुझे आपकी वहां सेवा करनी है, व्रजे राधा कृष्ण सेवा पावे ये अभिलाषी। तो ये सब प्रार्थना करने के बाद भी, दीक्षा लेने के बाद भी, जाप करने के बाद भी, ठाकुर जी सेवा करने के बाद भी, हमें कभी कभी हमारा पतन होता है, मन विचलित हो जाता है, बहुत सारे परेशानियां कठिनाइयां आते हैं, प्रतिकूलता आती है, हम कभी कभी भक्ति के पथ से स्खलित हो जाते हैं। ये केवल इसीलिए कि भगवान स्वयं ये करा रहे हैं, ताकि हम अधिक तीव्रता से भजन करें, कि नहीं अभी तो बात नहीं बन रही भी, और मुझे नाम भजन बढ़ाना है। जब दवाई लेते हैं और बुखार बढ़ता है तो हम और दवाई का डोज बढ़ा देते हैं, नहीं अभी और ये लेना पड़ेगा, अभी ये भी दवाई लो, अभी तुम सिर्फ 16 माला करो, अभी 18 माला करो, अभी एकादशी भी करो, चलो अभी तीन, अभी तुम सत्संग भी सुनो। ऐसा तो जो हमें परेशानियां होते हैं भक्ति में आने के बाद, वो भगवान खुद प्रदान करते हैं, ताकि हम और अधिक भक्ति में तीव्रता से भक्ति करें। जैसे गजेंद्र, यदि ग्राह उसे नहीं पकड़ता तो वो कभी वैसी प्रार्थना नहीं करता, उस उत्कंठा से, उस तीव्रता से, उस गंभीरता से, उस भाव से, भक्ति भाव से नहीं करता। यदि भगवान कृष्ण रासलीला से अप्रकट नहीं हो जाते, अंतर्धान नहीं हो जाते, तो रुरुदु सुस्वरम राजन नहीं होता। क्यों गोपियां रोते, है ना? तो भगवान कभी कभी हमें परेशान करते हैं, अदर्शनान मर्म हताम करो तो वह करते हैं, ताकि हमारी भक्ति की तीव्रता बढ़ जाए, और वो तीव्रता बढ़ने से हम भगवान के और निकट आते हैं। ठीक है शांता राधिका जी, आपको ठीक लग रहा है?
प्रभु जी आप बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं, पर वो तीव्रता बढ़ तो नहीं रही है प्रभु जी। रियलाइज करते हैं, मतलब उत्कंठा होती है, लेकिन प्रयास में तो कमी रह ही जाती है ना। हम वो उतना फुलफिल कर ही नहीं पाते जितना हम डिजायर करते हैं।
तो हमारे जीवन में ऐसा कोई एक शिक्षा गुरु होना चाहिए, या कोई ऐसा काउंसलर कहो या स्पिरिचुअल मेंटोर कहो, होना चाहिए जो हमारे भजन को देख रहा है या देख रही है, जिनके साथ हम हमारा भजन शेयर करें, ताकि वो बताए हमें कि अरे तुम केवल इतना ही कर रहे हो, तुमने स्वाध्याय नहीं किया, तुमने श्रवण नहीं किया, तुमने आज ठाकुर जी सेवा नहीं की। तो हमारा जो भी हम साधना करते हैं, उसे एक साधना चार्ट में लिखना चाहिए, और किसी हमारे अम, जो वैष्णव है, जिन 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 बात हम मानते हैं, उन्हें उनके साथ शेयर करना चाहिए, हर हफ्ते या हर 2 हफ्ते में एक बार या महीने में एक बार या प्रतिदिन, जैसा भी हो, ताकि हम अम, भजन में ठीक तरह से कार्यरत रहे, ढीले ना पड़े, कॉम्प्लेसेंसी शुड नॉट सेट इन, है ना। तो इसीलिए हमें कोई समवन हु कैन कीप अस ऑन आवर टोज, जो हमें थोड़ा सा प्रेरणा देते रहे, मार्गदर्शन करते रहे, वो कोई चाहिए। अकेले हम नहीं कर पाते हैं। एकाकी आमाय नहीं पायो बल, हरि नाम संकीर्तन है, ठाकुर भक्ति होते कहते हैं, अकेले हम नहीं कर सकते, हमें वैष्णव का संग चाहिए। तो ऐसा कोई वरिष्ठ वैष्णव होने चाहिए हमारे जीवन में, शिक्षा गुरु या काउंसलर, जो हमें गाइड करे, मेंटोर जो हमें गाइड करे, भजन में इंस्पायर करे, और हमारे भजन को देखे और कहे कि अरे ये सही नहीं है, ये कैसा करो, वैसा करो। ठीक है।
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for guiding me.
दासोस्मी। सो आई एम वेरी सॉरी, मैं पता नहीं, मेरे आई नीड टू डू समथिंग विथ माई लाइफ स्टाइल, मुझे बहुत आजकल नींद आती है। सो विल स्टॉप हियर, and we will continue day after tomorrow. Wish you all a very very Krishna conscious Narsimha Chaturdashi. May Lord Narsimha Dev protect all of you. May Lord Narsimha Dev protect your bhakti. May Lord Narsimha Dev protect your bhajan. And just like Mother Yashoda used to worship Lord Narsimha Dev for her Kanha, may Lord Narsimha Dev protect your Vraj bhakti. Thank you very much. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताई गौर, हरि बोल। थैंक यू वेरी मच। हरे कृष्ण। जय जय श्री राधे श्याम।
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much
so
for
much,
being
Prabhuji. Pranam. Jai Ho.